The Northwestern State football team has not had a winning season since 2008, when have their 2023 season cut short following a heartbreaking tragedy to one of their players. Following everything, some wondered whether the Demons football program would actually return in 2024 and beyond, or if the school may just cut the sport as a whole with all the controversy surrounding it. With the announcement of Blaine McCorkle as the school's new head football coach last November, the program was going nowhere, and hope began to return to a grieving community. While this season would not be great, the program was at least back and building towards something special. This is the story of Northwestern State football. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know if you think Blaine McCorkle can build the Demons into a winning football program once again in the comment section below. Northwestern State football has not always been a struggling FCS program, as there have been multiple golden periods throughout their program history. They have 12 conference titles to their name and have been to the FCS playoffs 6 times. They have not had a ton of success since 2004, with that being the last year that they made the playoffs and won a share of the Southland Conference under head coach Scott Stoker. Stoker would lead the Demons to their last winning season as well in 2008, when they finished 7-5, before he left to become the defensive coordinator at Sam Houston State. It's been a rough 16 years since for the program, with hit after hit, but the program almost received a death blow in 2023 under head coach Brad Laird. Laird was hired to be the head coach at Northwestern State after playing for the school and spending years as an assistant as well. He was a Demon through and through, with his father also coaching at the school when he was a kid. He always knew he could help the program return to greatness. Unfortunately, that would not be the case. There would not be many wins under Laird, as they would go 5-6 in 2018, 3-9 in 2019, 1-5 in 2020, 3-8 in 2021, and 4-7 in 2022, with their last win coming against Texas A&M Commerce on November 5th, 2022, when they won 41-14. On the field, the 2023 season would be a disaster as the program would start the season 0-6, getting blown out in a majority of their games, but it would be what occurred off the field that ended the season for the team as tragedy struck the program.
Developing story in Natchitoches. The football game between Nicholls State and Northwestern has been canceled. This after a Northwestern State football player was killed this morning. Ronald Caldwell was found shot and killed at an apartment complex earlier today. He was a junior at the university. He played safety on the team. The Natchitoches Police Department is investigating this homicide. There's no word if the game will be rescheduled.
Houston attorneys announcing plans to sue a university after a college football player's death.
It is a story making national headlines after the coach resigned and the rest of the football season was canceled. Austin native Ronnie Caldwell was shot and killed earlier this month near the university. Troy Kless spoke to his parents earlier today. Troy.
Well, Mia and Len, like many kids, it was Ronald Caldwell Jr.'s dream to play in the NFL. But his parents say that the college and his football coach dropped the ball in taking care of their son.
He's a wonderful kid. He give you a shirt off his back.
Parents hurting.
He was a great kid.
And trying to figure out what happened to their Northwestern State football player.
I really wanted him to move into the business world, and that's where his degree was. His degree was not for athletics. His major was business.
Like mother, like son.
Same as mine, initial.
But that dream cut short for the student from Austin, taken at 21 years old.
This has been a parent's nightmare.
Blanche and Ronald Caldwell say their son says it all started when a mold issue led to their son being moved to an apartment with a non-student, and then that roommate allegedly became trouble.
I called the coach, I texted him and asked him, please move my son. Somebody pulled the gun on him.
That was on October 9th. 3 days passed before another call.
The next phone call I get from this man is at 2:07 Thursday, that my son is deceased.
Now the family's attorneys are demanding accountability. They're planning to file a lawsuit.
The university and Coach Brad Laird did nothing to protect Ronald Jr.
As the school continues to grieve, the coach resigned, saying Ronald was like a son and the school's football season was canceled. The university issued a statement saying it would be inappropriate to comment while the cause of death is under investigation, but the school sends its condolences to the family. Meanwhile, these parents say their dreams for their child's future are shattered.
And that's what our dream is when we send our kids to college, to send our child back better them, grow them bigger and better than what we sent to you. Not the way they sent my kid back home.
And the family's attorney says that the roommate was arrested on firearm possession charges, but he says that no one has been charged directly with Ronald Jr.'s murder.
This tragedy and incompetence left the family and a community grieving. Long snapper Sawyer Benson told the press, "It was dark. It was hard coming up here and just coming to work every day." NSU tried to resume play. The Demons even took the field against Southeastern Louisiana 7 days after Caldwell Jr.'s death. The administration then decided to cancel the rest of the season. Many feared the upheaval left the football program in doubt. With everything going on, a lot of players thought the program was going to be shut down for good. But that all changed when they named a brand new head coach, Blaine McCorkle. Blaine McCorkle would replace Brad Laird as head coach at Northwestern State, which was a shocking move as many felt the football program was dead and buried for the next millennium. McCorkle was a long snapper in the 90s at LSU playing for Nick Saban, began his coaching career with the Tigers in 1999 as a student assistant. He would then spend time at Tennessee Martin, Sewanee, Liberty, Chattanooga, Tennessee Tech, Richmond, and Delaware, mainly serving as an offensive line coach, or being named the head coach at Belhaven, a Division III program. McCorkle would rebuild the Blazers football program from a 2-8 record his first season to a 9-2 record in 2023, where the Blazers won the USA South Atlantic Conference and made it to the Division III playoffs for the first time in school history. Many were surprised when McCorkle took the job, as he was building up a strong Division III program in Mississippi and would have a rebuild on his hands at Northwestern State. He explained his thinking, saying, "Why would any coach in the world not want to be head coach at Northwestern State right now? If you're a coach and you're coaching for the right reasons, and we all say that we get into coaching to grow and develop and mature and mentor young men, why would 250 people not have applied for this job? Where else in the country is there a better opportunity to speak into the lives of young men right now than Northwestern State? The reason you didn't is because people are coaching for the wrong reasons these days. They're coaching for a paycheck and a contract to get a better job. I could have stayed there my entire career and been just fine, or I could have waited on a program that was winning championships and then the coach retired, or moved to a bigger program. Slot right in and keep doing what he's doing. But how good would I feel about myself? If you're coaching for the right reasons, you ought to want to take over a job like Northwestern right now, so to me, that was a no-brainer." He finished with a 31-25 record at Belhaven, but his last 3 seasons with the Blazers, they would go 24-7. When he arrived at Northwestern State, he would have a complete rebuild on his hands. He would build the roster up to 107 players, with half being returning players and the other half being new players, but they returned no starters on offense and only 2 starters on defense. Because of this, the Demons were picked to finish last in the Southland Conference. McCorkle was not surprised, explaining, "We shouldn't be picked anywhere else. Why would we be? We've earned that. And until we start doing things on the field, we don't deserve anything else. And that's on us to fix." Year 1 was going to be rough, but it was also focused around rebuilding the culture of the team and bringing back hope to a grieving community. McCorkle went on to say, "There's a group of guys right now that I think are excited to be at Northwestern State. It's been a fun transformation to watch. If we can continue to build on that, the football piece on the field will come." When they kicked off the season against Tulsa, the Demons had not won a football game in over 662 days, and that streak would continue, and they would fall to the FBS program 62-28 on the road. They would give Tulsa a game through the first quarter, taking a 7-0 lead early, and went into the second tied at 14-14, would give up 27 points in the second to go into half down 41-14. In their home opener, they looked to get their first home win since October 1st of 2022, when they beat Nichols 36-33. They would unfortunately fall to Prairie View A&M 37-31 in a heartbreaker. In a short week, they would then travel to Mobile to play South Alabama, where they famously were beaten 87-10 before being shut out at home 39-0 by Weber State, and on the road to Southeast Missouri State 19-0. They would score their first points in 12 quarters when they got a field goal against Stephen F. Austin in the second quarter to go into half down 38-3, and scored their first touchdown in 13 quarters to cut the Lumberjacks' lead to 45-10. They would go on to lose that game 59-17. Against Texas A&M Commerce, they would take a 7-0 lead, but would be shut out in the second and third quarters en route to a 42-21 loss to move to 0-7 on the season. They would then be shut out by Nichols 20-0 to move to 0-8, before being blown out by Lamar 42-10 to move to 0-9. Coming out of their bye, they would play Southeastern Louisiana, losing 41-0 to move to 0-10 on the season. They followed that up with a 35-3 loss to McNeese, went into their season finale against Houston Christian with the hope of winning the first game of the season. Things would not magically come together though in the season finale, as they would fall 62-24 on the road and almost poetically had the same score in their loss to Tulsa in the season opener as they did in the season finale. It was a rough year with an extremely young roster for the Demons. Northwestern State only had 8 seniors on their roster this season, and those seniors really experienced it all throughout their career. Scotty Roblo started as a true freshman as a Demons kicker before an injury cut his season short. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, Roblo stood out in a 6-game spring season, earning freshman All-American honors from Hero Sports as a punter. He then spent 2022 saw him post similar numbers, including a career-long 71-yard punt. He also dropped a career-high 11 punts inside the opponent's 20-yard line that season and appeared to be ready again to take a step forward in 2023. That was until a hip injury caused him to miss the 2023 season and most of the 2024 season. He was on track to become the school's all-time punting average leader with the late surge this season, though. The struggles towards the end of the season for Northwestern State could be summed up a lot to do with younger players getting playing time at the end of the season. McCorkle said after the HCU game, "We spent the past 4 weeks playing a lot of true freshmen to protect their red shirts and to grow the program. They did not disappoint. That's a pretty cool thing. Running back Jeremiah James is a special player, and he's another one who's just scratching the surface of his talent. Now, he has a good game experience and 4 years of football to go. He's a name people are going to hear for a while. He's locked into being at Northwestern State." Northwestern State has had some insane numbers this season that was pointed out to me on X. They had a point differential of negative 401 points, which I don't think I've ever seen before, meaning they lost every game by an average of 33.42 points per game. By the time they take the field next season, it will have been over 1,000 days since they won a game. They just lost star edge Chancellor Owens to the transfer portal as well, who was their highest graded defender via PFF with 26 quarterback pressures and 70 tackles. But McCorkle believes he could build a winner at Northwestern State. He knew this was the job for him when it came open telling Football Scoop. When I saw what happened in October shutting down the season, for some reason I kind of felt like we could help those kids, help this place. It's a real kind of call for me. I firmly believe coaching is not a job, it's a calling. If God calls on us and we are able to do it for the right reasons, why would everybody in the country not want to coach at Northwestern State? The model is go to work one day at a time, teach kids to believe in themselves. Everybody's got a good scheme. We're trying to build a really good locker room. I'm not a guru, I'm a football coach. We're going to play good, fast, physical, and sound fundamental football. And it works. I think we got the 3rd longest losing streak in the country without a winning year since 2008. At the same time, this program has also had won 12 conference championships through the years. Northwestern State football has not had a lot of good things surrounding it for years now, but with McCorkle as head coach, hope returns to the program, and hope is a powerful thing. What do you think? Can Northwestern State turn things around? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.